Hello again, everybody. Today we are going to shift our focus to division, and we will be focusing on division for the next probably few weeks here. And we are going to start looking at some division problems that include remainders. So last year, there were times that you would do some division problems and maybe you wrote down the wrong number or you made a mistake. And you would say, hey, that doesn't fit equally. I've got some left over. It doesn't work. And I said, well, then you've made a mistake because at this point, we're not dealing with things left over. Well, now we are. So we are going to be looking at division problems where you may or may not have some items that are left over so that it doesn't divide nice and equally. So let's take a look. Before we start, I want to bring your attention to this new term. We have not really talked about this before, but now we're going to start to be using it. It is quotient. A quotient is the answer to a division problem. So just a quick reminder, sum is the answer to an addition problem. Difference, answer to a subtraction problem. Product, answer to the multiplication problem. And now we have quotient, the answer to a division problem. So I'm just putting that there to remind myself to use it because it's not a term that I've used a whole lot in my teaching career since I never taught a whole lot of division until I started third grade teaching, and for you to get used to it. So let's get started with our regular problem here, and it should be a pretty straightforward one. It says there are 12 students in PE class separated into 4 equal teams. How many students are on each team? So first of all, what is the number sentence that you could write or would write in order to solve this problem? Well, if you were thinking I need to do 12 divided by 4, you are correct. Okay, so if we do 12 divided by 4, what would be our quotient or what would be our answer? I'm going to draw it out for you so you can see it, but you guys should probably already know this. If I draw out 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 students, and I put them into 4 equal teams, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I end up with 3 students on each team. So my quotient is 3, correct? Well, what if we had a new student? We've had lots of new students join us this year, right? So what if a new student joined? Now we have 13 students in our PE class who are going to be separated into 4 equal teams. So I'm just going to adjust my picture a little bit and I'm going to make it so that I have 13 students. Well, it doesn't work out so well with 13 students, does it? If I change my 12 to a 13 divided by 4, I can't make 4 equal teams, can I? I'm going to end up with a remainder of 1 or 1 person left over. They wouldn't fit equally on a team. Now, maybe the PE instructor would decide to make one group of 4. It's up to them what to do. But in this case, 13 divided by 4, we draw out all our 13 people. We make 4 equal groups as best as we can, and we end up with 1 left over. Another way of going about it could be if you wanted to skip count to solve, you could say 4, 8, 12, and then you would go, ooh, I know the next one is 16, that's too many. So my quotient is going to be 3 because here I've got 3 skip counts with a remainder of 1 because from 12 up to 13 is going to give me 1 left over. Okay? And we wouldn't notate it like that, but just so you can see that you can do it as a skip counting as well. Let's take a look at another one. Molly bought 13 roses. If she puts 6 roses in each vase, how many vases will she use? Will there be any roses left over? Well, once again, let's go back to that visual. Let's draw 13 roses. Now, I'm not going to make them pretty. I'm just going to draw 13 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It says if she puts 6 roses in each vase. So I'm going to circle 6 roses in each vase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, they didn't fit equally, but that's okay. We'll just keep going. If she puts 6 roses in each vase, how many vases will she use? Okay, so my answer would be that she uses 2 vases, right? There's my vases, the circles, or really more like rectangles. And there's 1 rose left over, this poor leftover rose that just didn't fit equally. So I could write, she uses 2 vases, she has 1 rose left over. Okay, and to notate this, I would write 13, because I started with 13, divided by 6. I made groups of 6, and I was left with 2 vases with a remainder of 1 left over. So the R stands for a remainder, 2 vases with a remainder of 1 rose left over. Okay, let's take a look at one final one. Isa has 22 meters of fabric to sew dresses. She uses 3 meters of fabric for each dress. After how many dresses will Isa need to buy more fabric? All right, well, let's get our 22 meters of fabric. I'm just going to use X's this time. Why not? And it says she uses 3 meters for each dress. So I'm going to put them in groups or rows of 3 to start with. So actually, let me model for you what it would look like if you know there's 3 meters. No, we're going to do it this way. 3 meters for each, right? So here's one dress. And I'm going to keep counting. So I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I've got to keep track of my X's. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so as I drew my X's to show each meter of fabric, I put them in groups of 3. So it would be a little easier for me. So here's 3 meters of fabric for each dress. And you can quickly see that we did have some leftover fabric, didn't we? We had 1 meter of leftover fabric. So the question didn't say how many meters were left over, though. It says, after how many dresses will Isa need to buy more fabric? Well, how many dresses could she make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She will need more fabric after making 7 dresses, right? And again, to show that with an equation, we've got 22 divided by 3 equals 7, because we also know 3 times 7 is 21. So our quotient is going to be 7 with a remainder of 1. We had 1 left over. So your job today is to go ahead and solve some division problems that are going to have remainders. Okay, you are going to choose, I believe, I'm just double checking really quickly, 2 of the problems to solve. So once again, you do not need to do all of them. Pick 2 and solve. Let me know if you need any help. Good luck and have